Hey Ergonomics fans, today we're going to go over a quick story to illustrate what ergonomics is. A few years back, I had a client named John. John was experiencing some back pain. When I came to his home for the home office assessment, I found that his chair really wasn't supporting him. He was leaning forward to look at the monitor, and his lower back especially was not being supported by the chair. I tried a few different things. I tried first to adjust the chair, tried to put it in recline a little bit. I even tried something like this, a lumbar support, that would go on the back of his chair, bringing his upper back a little bit more upright and relieving some of that pressure on his lower back. I tried one like this. I even tried a mesh one that was a little bit more light, but it didn't really seem to work. Finally, there was one last lumbar support there. It was a big, bulky lumbar support that really none of my previous clients had liked. But for some reason or another, John loved this lumbar support. It really worked for him. When I tried it to him, when I showed it to him, his pain was relieved. He was able to get a little bit more upright. He was no longer leaning forward at that monitor, and it really helped him. When I called him a few weeks later after he had purchased the lumbar support, he told me that his pain had really been alleviated and he was working a lot more productively. The story really shows that ergonomics is all about treating the individual. We can't treat each person the same. Each person has their own unique body type. Each person has their own unique perspective. And what works for one person is not necessarily going to work for someone else. Let's jump into the slides here. I just want to reiterate that what works for one person is not necessarily going to work for someone else. And it's just really important to understand that you might have 5 people in your office, each complaining of back pain, but each of those individuals, we're going to be recommending something else. For one person, we might recommend a lumbar support and a footrest, and for the other person, we might recommend stretching. For the third employee, you might recommend stretching in a new chair. It really just depends on the individual and their individual circumstances. In this course, we're really going to be learning the ergonomic principles. We're not going to say one size fits all, or for this situation, you should do X. We're rather going to be learning the ergonomic principles, and based on those principles, you're going to be able to apply it to any situation at hand for any employee that you're dealing with. So what exactly does ergonomics mean? Ergonomics comes from 2 Latin words, ergo and nomos. Ergo meaning work and nomos meaning natural law. It's basically studying how people work, studying how we can fit the job and the environment and the workstation to each employee. We're not going to say one size fits all and everyone should get the same chair. Rather, we're trying to say that each employee deserves a workstation that fits them in particular. In the next lecture, we're going to go over the stats behind ergonomics and why ergonomics can really help improve the wellness and health of your office.